So today is December 26th, 2021. Currently it is 2:03 a.m., so Christmas actually just ended for me a couple hours ago. But the reason why I'm making this video today is because of the fact that today is the 3-year anniversary of Dallas Winter 2018. This was a competition that took place on December 26th, 2018, so exactly 3 years ago, like I said. And I honestly think that this was one of my favorite competitions that I've attended, possibly my favorite one-day competition for a few reasons. One reason was just because of the fact that a lot of the people that I met at this competition were great people overall. Many of the people I met here were people I already knew beforehand, but there were also some people at this competition that I didn't know previously, but then I met them and they were cool people, so that was nice. But additionally, I was able to make a great competition video out of this competition. Now, the reason why I really like this competition video that we're going to watch in a second is because, one, the song that I used in this video, in my opinion, is amazing. It might just be nostalgia, partially at least, but I really like this song, and every time I hear the song, regardless of whether or not it's with this competition video, I just feel so much nostalgia, and it just really helps me think back to this period of my life. And that's another thing, this competition happened in a decent period of my life. This was after high school had started for me. It was actually in my sophomore year of high school, so by then, by this point in my life, I was already well accustomed to high school, but it was also before COVID, because this was late 2018, right? COVID didn't start till March 2020, so this was well after I was used to high school, but well before COVID began, so this was overall a great period in my life. And I think this competition video really reflects it, and just how I feel towards this time in my life and towards this competition specifically also really reflects it. And I'm going to be honest, this was the last competition that I really enjoyed. After this competition, I attended 3 competitions in 2019, one in 2020, and one in this year in 2020. But none of those competitions really gave me as much enjoyment as this competition, so this was really the last memory that I have of a great cubing competition that I genuinely had a lot of enjoyment in. So that's another reason why I wanted to react to this video. Like I said, it took place in late 2018, but I uploaded the video on January 3rd, 2019, so right after the new year began, right after 2019 began. So let's actually get into it now. Let's take a look at it, and let's analyze why I really like this competition, the competition video, and also this period in my life overall. So yeah, this is the song I chose for this video. I think it goes really well with the video. At least let's talk about it. I think I did a great job matching the clips up with the song. Yeah, so you saw right there how whenever the clip switched, it was at the proper time to match up with the song. I thought that was a cool thing. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do for competition videos generally, but I still think that with this song especially, it really worked out well. Now, for this clip, what happened here was, this was right after the lights for the competition venue had gone out, and this happened in the middle of a round. I forgot which event it was for, but many people were in the middle of their solves during the outage, and as a result, they all requested extras. The people raising their hands here were people requesting extras because the lights went out, and obviously that ruined their solve, so they were requesting an extra solve. Now, unfortunately for this solve, I could not get a better angle of it, so for a large portion of the solve, the cube is unfortunately not in frame very well, but I will talk about what actually happened in the solve now and why it's an interesting scenario. It was a good solve, but it could have been even better for sure. So, like it says right here, 8.25 PR single. Now this was a good time then, it still is a good time for me now because I'm basically the same speed now on 303 as I was then, but what still makes me a bit sad about the solve is how it could have been at least a second faster, maybe a second and a half faster. But what happened in this solve basically was my F12 was amazing, really good F12, and my last layer could have also been amazing, but it was just mediocre, or maybe a bit above, I guess above average, but could have been really good. So I did F12, and then I get to last layer. I noticed that it's a one look last layer case that I know, and the case was just inverse sledge, inverse sexy, so it's just one of those easy 8 movers, but I didn't properly register that fact until I was already in the middle of my OLO alg, and the OLO alg I usually do for that is a different alg, and it's not the 8 mover one. Or it might be 8 moves, but it's not the inverse sledge one. So I didn't realize it was that specific one look last layer case until I was already in the middle of my OLO alg. So I had to undo that OLO alg in the middle and then afterwards do the one look last layer alg for that case. And even after I did all that, it still ended up being a low 8 because of the PLL skip that I got as a result. But if I hadn't made that mistake, if I had recognized it properly from the start, it could have easily been a low 7, maybe even a high 6, so that's kind of disappointing, but it was still a great single regardless, and it also clinched the low 10 average that I ended up getting as a result. The average was good, and I ended up knocking it over a chair as a result. This was a blind, at the time I killed one single, and now I believe it was a one. Yeah, I have a one. This I thought was really interesting because this was not a +2, it was not a DNF, it was good as it is. So the 15.35 you see there, that's what the time ended up being as the final time. Because if you look at the cube right here, on the slice axis, it's a bit less than 90 degrees, slightly less, so that wasn't an issue. But if you look at the yellow layer also, that was less than 45 degrees. So neither of those moves ended up making it a +2 or a DNF. So there was no penalty. It was good as it is. I thought that was really interesting because the cube here, it looks like it's not at all solved. It looks like it's mixed up, but it's not even a +2. Literally solved. I thought this was pretty cool because this competition was at the end of 2018, right? So I thought it was cool how I got a 20.19 here when it was about to be 2019. And when I was editing this video, it was right after 2019 began. I believe I edited this video on the 1st and 2nd of January, so it was right after the new year began, and that's why I included that text right there that says Happy New Year. I've already said this, but I love this song. After you watch this video, just listen to the song on its own. I'm gonna link it in this description of this video. And then here for like 30 seconds, I just took a minute to just talk about some things and like talk about how like I was thankful for everyone who subscribed to me, which I still completely agree with, and how I was thankful for how good of a year 2018 was, which it definitely was a great year.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video.
I did.
First of all, I hope you had a nice Christmas, and I hope you've been having...
Like I said, Christmas just ended a couple hours ago for me, and I know obviously this is talking about 2018 Christmas, but hey, I had a good 2021 Christmas also.
having a good year so far. As I'm
Obviously here I was talking about 2019 the first couple days, but I'm gonna be real. 2021 was a decent year for me, so much better for 2020 because I was able to get vaccinated against COVID-19, among other things that made my year so much better. The fact that COVID-19 wasn't nearly as big of an issue for me this year.
recording this, it's the night of January 2nd, and
Yeah, I edited this video in the first couple days of
it's
2019.
about to be January 3rd. Now,
Yeah, I uploaded this on January 3rd.
I would just like to thank all of my viewers who've
Once again, thank you to everybody who's watching this video currently and who's been watching my videos in the past, and also thank you to everyone who's subscribed to me.
been consistently watching my videos as I make them. 2018 has been a pretty good year for my channel.
It was
I
good.
went from just
Yeah, it was a good year for my channel and a good year for me overall.
83 subscribers to, I think I'm at like 130 at this point.
Bruh, if you look at my current subscriber count, I'm only at 139, so since I made this video basically 3 years ago, I've gained a net 9 subscribers, which is not much, but the reason for this is because I'll get into this in a second. I basically quit cubing for the most part right around this time period.
So thank you all to all my subscribers, everyone who watches my
again, thank you.
videos, and I hope that 2019 can be even better.
I wouldn't say it was better. It was around as good as 2018, but 2018 was a good year, so 2019 was also a decent year. Like I said earlier, this was after I was used to high school, but before COVID-19 hit, so this was kind of like the golden portion of my teenage years, I guess. I'm about to be 19, so I guess I'm still a teenager, but like, doesn't really feel like it because I'm in college and I'm like legally an adult now. But like I said, after after I was used to high school before COVID, that period in my life, 2018, 2019, that was just a great period in my life overall, and I think this video really reflects it, and the way I feel towards this video reflects it.
Thank you so much for watching, guys,
Once again, thank you for watching.
and I'll see you later.
Let's read the description for this video. So yeah, I'm thanking the organizers and the delegate. Broke some long-standing PRs. I was referring specifically to my 3 out of 3 PRs, which at the time were a year and a half old. And I like how I said long-standing here when my PRs that I got here, the 3 out of 3 ones, are now twice as old, 3 years old now. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to beat those, but I got lucky in that 3 out of 3 average because at the end I got that 8 single that just clinched the low 10 average for me. Yeah, I've had a great Christmas. I've had a great year, but I don't know what 2022 is going to be like. I think 2022 is going to be a great year also. In my opinion, I think things will turn out well. I don't think it's going to be worse than 2020. I can hardly imagine how things can be worse than next year than previous year. I'm generally optimistic. I was optimistic for 2021 and things turned out relatively well for me. Obviously, everyone had their own experiences, and I'm sorry if 2021 wasn't a great year for you, but I really hope that 2022 can be a good year for you. So, let's also look at the comments quickly. There's 6 comments. I only see 5, but let's look at them. So it shows 2 years ago because this was a little less than 3 years ago. Yeah, GJ for winning 2 at 2. Yeah, I was really surprised I won 2 at 2 because at least 2 other people at the competition were generally faster than me at the event. But I got lucky. Not necessarily lucky, but like I just did well and the others didn't. And then Uzzer said this 11 months ago. I believe this was on the 2-year anniversary of this competition, so December 26th, 2020. Uzzer was saying how much he missed that. Like I said, Uzzer's in the same grade as me, so this was also like a golden period in his life. So like after we were used to high school before COVID, and that's like I said, he also misses this period in his life. And then I said, same man, yeah. Who knew we'd be doing online school throughout most of 2020 and 2021? Yeah, online school was horrible in my opinion for high school. I feel like for college classes online, there's a lot of benefits to doing it online, but like for high school, if like everybody you normally talk to, you can no longer talk to in person and you have to only talk to them online. I feel like for me, that's what happened for me, and that really ruined a lot of things for me. And I really think that online high school really reduced my ability to socialize with other people. But thankfully, people no longer have to do online high school because a lot of people are now getting vaccinated for COVID-19. I hope people continue to get vaccinated. If you haven't gotten your booster shot yet or your original shots for COVID-19, I definitely recommend you do that because it definitely helps to protect yourself and others against the virus. Then there's my comment that I made 6 months ago exactly. I believe I'm, yeah, 2.5 year anniversary of this comp, so June 26th of this year. This was an amazing competition. Yeah, I was feeling nostalgic for this comp even back then. Yeah, I don't know why I put a space there. Feels like forever ago. It really does feel like forever ago because this was over a year before COVID even began. I didn't know what COVID-19 was at this time. COVID-19 didn't even exist at the time. Yep, these are still my PRs after 3 years. Since my first competition was in 2015, this is sort of like the halfway point of my queuing career technically, but it doesn't really feel like it because I basically quit queuing for the most part right after this competition. Right after this competition in like 2019 is when I started getting a lot more busy with school. I started focusing more on college applications, and this was also before COVID began, so I started focusing less on queuing and more on my schoolwork and like SAT and stuff like that. And I stopped attending competitions, so that's why I didn't really upload any videos in 2019. And then once I started getting back into queuing in like early 2020, I attended one competition early 2020, but then right afterwards COVID-19 hit, so that made me lose interest again. And then throughout this year in 2021, I'd say I've been getting back into it, but I really only practice Megaminx now. My goal for 2022 is to get like sub 40 on Megaminx and maybe world class. That would be nice. I'm not too sure because cubing can't be a top priority for me from now on because I'm in college now, I'm an adult. I have to focus on my schoolwork, I have to focus on getting good grades, and focus on working toward my degree. So obviously cubing can't be my top priority, but I hope that if I continue to learn PLL algs, which I'll talk about in a second, then I can hopefully get to sub 40 soon enough. Now, I said a couple months ago in a video that I'd like to learn full PLL by the end of 2021. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I underestimated how busy I would be with college work and how hard it would be to learn Megaminx PLLs. I thought that if I learned like 2 Ls a day over time, that would be enough to learn it by the end of the year. And if I had followed that plan, that would have worked, but like, I didn't really think about how hard it would be to even learn 2 Ls per day when I had so much other stuff to worry about in my life. So that's why I haven't learned it. I'm trying to learn as much of the Alex set now during break as I can before spring semester begins. So hopefully I can get to most, if not all, of PLL by the end of break. But this was a great competition overall, great time in my life. Sophomore year of high school, probably my best year of high school. Junior year was also pretty good before COVID. COVID hit in March of my junior year, so that was unfortunate. But sophomore year was great. Most of my junior year was great. This was a great competition overall. Probably probably the last competition I genuinely enjoyed. So I attended 3 competitions in 2019, one in 2020, and one in 2021. But I feel like none of those competitions nearly gave me as much enjoyment as this competition did. So this is really the last competition that I really have fond experiences of because the ones after this I don't remember that well. I remember pretty vaguely, but this competition I remember pretty well. I remember during lunch, me, I believe it was Jeff, Vincent, and maybe a couple other people. We went to the Target that was near this venue, and we got some pizza. I got some Pizza Hut pizza from that Target because there was like a Pizza Hut like mini store within the Target. I got some pizza there. That was fun. I just remember this competition really fondly, and it's just a great period in my life. I've said that like 10 times by now, but I think I'm going to end the video here. It really makes me sad to think about like how my high school experience was kind of ruined by COVID, but 2021 has really made me more optimistic for my future and for my college life. My undergraduate years are still ahead of me. I think I'll be graduating college in like 2024, 2025. Depends on whether or not I take 3 or 4 years for my degree. Not sure yet, but I still have a lot of optimism that things can continue to get better from here on out. I'm not going to let my terrible experiences with COVID-19 and with lockdown ruin things for me in the future. So I really think 2022 can be even better than 2021. This was a decent year overall. There were definitely some bad things that happened to me in my life this year, but there were also a lot of great things that happened to me this year. And I think that 2022 can be even better, and I'll continue to work to make sure that things get better next year. And I hope that you guys all do the same. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody who subscribed to me, who's been watching my videos consistently. Thank you to everybody who's just overall made queuing in the past 6 years and even longer a great experience for me.